Hey guys, Lindsey Hammond here, CPR Realty with Century 21. So I want to go over with you guys some questions that you can ask your real estate agent if you are looking at hiring them. So just like any other job interview, that real estate agent is looking for a chance to do a job for you. So of course you want to interview them. And here are some ideas on things that you can ask. Number one, do they have any reviews that you can look at? So any real estate agent that's been in this for any number of times should have some reviews that you can look at from past clients about the job that they have done. You can find them on multiple sites. They could have some written up they could show you. They could tell you the website, however that may be. But you want to see how their work ethic is and what kind of character they have. And it may not even necessarily be you're looking for something bad or you're looking for something extremely great, but just to see, like, is their communication skill amazing and that's the most important thing to you, then that's the agent you need to hire. Or is their marketing super great, like mine, and that's who you want to go with because that's something that's important to you. So just to kind of get a feel like for how you two will mesh. Number two, how are they going to determine your home's market value? So that's a pretty important thing to know. How are they going to get what they're going to list it from? Obviously, you don't want someone that's just going to pull it out of a hat and go from there. Like, you want someone that knows the area, knows what your home's worth, and they can tell you how they're going to get that. That brings me to number three. How many houses in that area have they sold? Obviously, just like it's important for the CMA, it's really important to make sure that this agent has sold homes in your area before. So if they're familiar with the neighborhood, familiar with the city, familiar with the area, they're going to know more about the CMAs, know more about the comparables that have sold. They're going to have other clients in that area that they can advertise to, friends that can get the word out. Like, it just does a lot better. You're obviously not going to want to use someone that's from like a couple hours away because they're not going to be familiar with your home and your market and be able to bring the most that they can for your home. Which brings us to our next point, number four. What do you think will be a fair price in this market? So some people come into this and they want to list as high as they possibly can right out the gate. Some people come into this and they want to list just a little bit lower and try to get a bidding war going on. And then you've got other people that are like, okay, what would be a fair price for my home? Let's do that because I'm going to be happy with that. And at the end of the day, that is what's going to make the difference for me. So those are a couple of things that you can ask. Another one is, do you help with staging? So staging is so important. It really helps to set your home apart, and a lot of real estate professionals will offer this as a complimentary service to you. They do it, they have someone else that does it, and just coming in and helping with that will just instantly give your home that look that you want for the people. Another point on that same line are, do you do professional photos? So that's another big one. We know that most people do all of their home shopping initially online. They're looking on websites, they're wanting to get a feel for it, and if you have terrible pictures that don't show up well, that's not going to do your home justice. So we want to make sure your real estate agent is going to do professional photos, and she's going to market it the best that she can, and the professional photos help with that. Also, another question, what is your marketing plan? So we need to know what the marketing plan is. Are you one of those agents that's just going to stick a for sale sign in the yard and be done? Or do you have a plan as far as doing X, Y, and Z to get my home sold and the steps that you're going to do, and you've done this before? Like, all those are things that you want to do to make sure this is the right person for you. Just like knowing what would be a good price, we also want to know, how long do you anticipate my home to stay on the market? This is going to go hand in hand with that price point, because if you have it on the right price, that's going to affect how long it's on the market. So that's another good question to ask. So if I do list it way up here at my best dollar and the most I want to get, how long do you think it's going to stay on the market? And then that way you can weigh that versus pricing it just a little bit lower but staying on the market for less days. So a good agent will be able to do that. Something else, and you may have sold homes tons of times, this may be your first, but asking your agent to explain from beginning to the end the home buying process. It's a big, long, huge process. There's a lot of details that go into it. And for most people, you don't really know what all goes into it. So ask the expert. Have her walk you step by step through. You can expect this on this date, this on this date, and just give you some ideas so that you know what's going on and what you can expect. Also, you can ask, will you be able to help me find a home? So most agents do both sides, the buying and selling side. I know I do. And a good question to ask them is, can you help me find my next home, especially in this market? Because homes are flying off the shelves. They're not staying for very long. So having an agent who can find you another home is going to help and benefit you in the long run. And a lot of agents, we have properties that we know of that we can kind of help you find. So I've helped several clients just in like the past 6 months find all kinds of off the market properties just because of the connections that I have. And that assures that they get to beat that rush and don't have to worry about that bidding war and some of that kind of stuff. You also want to ask, this is a big one. Everybody always wants to know this. How does your commission work? So obviously you've got to get to that question. You've got to see, the value. What is it going to cost me? What am I going to end up with? They can run you the seller's statement to see how much you're going to walk away with by the time you pay everything. But that way you can really balance it out and see what's worth it, how it works. Do they get it if this happens? Do they get it if this happens? Like, what's that total cost going to be? And then another question in this crazy COVID market is, will you be able to do an open house? So in some markets, they don't work. In some markets, they do. You can also do virtual open houses right now. That would be an option, but just kind of getting their stance on how they feel on it and then your stance on how you feel on it. You may not want a bunch of random people coming through your house. Or you may be one of those people that say, heck yeah, bring in as many people as you can so I can get all of them through the door and get them to see my house. There's all kinds of stuff you could do. But if you've watched this video, you probably are thinking somewhere along the lines of maybe possibly selling your home. You're kind of on the fence. If so, look in the description below. I do have a completely free seller's guide. This is what I look at whenever I come into the home. It's everything that I'm looking at, making sure it's updated. It's yours completely free. You can download it. Go ahead and look over some of the things so that you're prepared when it is time for you to list your home, whether you do it with an agent or for sale by owner. Either way, it'll be yours to look at. If you like this video, please give it a like and comment below your favorite part. Any questions you have, I'll be answering those. Of course, I would love it if you would subscribe. I do all kinds of great info on here, and that way you don't miss out on anything that's coming up. I also have a couple of other videos down here in the descriptions just to prepare you for other things that sellers encounter. A couple of ways that you could repurpose a couple of things to get you the most money. So give those a check out, and thank you guys for watching.